and so we can go ahead and get started. I will show you my room real quick, just so you know it's just me and you talking. Show you everything, and then if I do look down or anything, I am just gonna be taking some notes. So I just don't want you to think that I'm not paying attention. So what brings you in today?
So I've been sleeping a lot, more than usual. And then some days
Okay.
I won't sleep enough, and I've been having some headaches too.
Okay. So you've been sleeping a whole lot, and you've been having headaches. And then can you repeat that, what you said in between that just one more time?
So like basically my sleep is either too much or too little, and then the headaches too.
Okay. Like when you do sleep too much, how long do you usually sleep for?
Um, if I'm off of work, like 10, 11 hours.
And then on days you do work, is that when you're usually sleeping too little?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what does that time frame look like when you do get too little of sleep?
Like 4 or 5 hours.
5 hours. Okay. And do you have any trouble like staying asleep or falling asleep, or is it just like kind of sleeping too long or sleeping too little?
Just sleeping too long, too little.
Okay. And then what? So where do you work at?
I work on a farm.
Okay. And what do you specifically do whenever you go to work?
I care for horses.
Okay. And when you are at work, do you feel tired at all, or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I am going to move into some more sensitive area questions. I just wanted you to be prepared. Would it be okay if I asked you any permission or asked any questions about any relationships?
That's fine.
Okay. So are you in a relationship currently?
Nope.
No? Okay. And then moving on from that, do you typically consume alcohol?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. How often is sometimes?
Maybe like once every 2 weeks.
And then in that one time every 2 weeks, how much do you drink in those occasions?
Just depends on what I'm doing.
So if you're in a social setting, what would that number of drinks look like?
5 or 6.
Okay. And then when you're alone?
1 or 2.
1 or 2. Okay. And then do you or have you consumed or used marijuana?
No.
No. Okay. And then so kind of walk me through your typical day now that I've gotten a little bit about what's going on, just to see if there's anything else that could be leading to your sleep problem.
Usually during the week, I go to work and then I go to clinicals. And then on the days that I have class, I don't work, but I still have clinicals. And on the weekends, I just work.
And then how many hours a week do you go to clinical?
Every day.
Okay, so every day, so Monday through Friday?
Mm-hmm.
And how many hours are you usually there for?
Between 30 and 35.
Hours per week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then how many hours during the week do you usually work?
Like 20.
Okay. And then how do you have class every day, or?
No, just Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay. And how long are you in class for those 3 days of the week?
Tuesdays I'm in class from 8:30 to 12:30. Wednesday, I'm in class from 10:30 to 1:30, and then Thursday, it's 8:30 to 9:45.
Okay. And then along with this, with what you've been experiencing, have you ever had any thoughts of causing harm to yourself? Whether that be never, sometimes, always, or almost always?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. And then along with that, have you ever had any thoughts of harming others? And that's never, sometimes, always, or almost always?
Never.
Never. Okay. And then how often do you, along with like going back to that last question of causing harm to yourself, do those feelings kind of come and go, or are they always present?
They come and go.
Come and go. Okay. And when did you start feeling this way? About how long ago?
Well, it's not really consistent. Like, it's just a thought. I've never really like had a plan for it.
Okay. And then so back to you've walked me through your typical day, from going to class to work and clinicals. And then you say that on days you're off from work, that you usually sleep from around 10 to 11 hours a day. And then whenever you do work, you sleep a little bit too little, about 4 to 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so have you talked to anybody else about any of this before?
Mm-mm.
Okay. What does your support system look like if you have one?
Just my best friend who I live with.
Have you talked with her about any of this before?
A little bit, not really.
Okay. So from what I'm getting is, so moving on into just a little bit of ideas so I can maybe think about what's going on a little bit more. I'm happy that you've decided to share this with me today. I think that's something to be proud of. You don't have to go through this alone. But I would want to maybe have you set some goals. So maybe try to cut back on the amount of time you are in clinicals during the week, while still maintaining your work schedule and going to class. I think that will help a little bit, just kind of alleviate any stress with the amount of commitment you have for clinicals and class and work. It just seems like you do have a lot on your plate. And I would also think it may be a good idea either to keep a journal of like what you do during the week, and keeping track of how much you're eating, how much water you're drinking. I think that's a really good way to kind of be able to look back and see how much you've done during the week. And then also I would like to send you some other resources that I have that you may be able to reach out to if you do keep having feelings of harming yourself. And if you ever just need to talk to anybody, you can feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to meet with you whenever you need to. And if you do choose to go talk to somebody else, if you do need me to come with you or be in a Zoom meeting like this with that person as well, I'd be more than happy to do that. So can I get some contact information from you to be able to send you these resources via email?
Yeah, it's abd3 at email.sc.edu.
Okay, perfect. So keep an eye out for that. I will compile those together here in the next few minutes and send that to you. Is there anything else you wanted to talk to me about today?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Is there anything I can do for you in the meantime? Reaching out to anyone on your behalf or scheduling another meeting?
Just so you're aware, I don't have insurance. So how is that going to affect future appointments?
So with that, since I will work for the school and for the program, You will not be getting billed for this. This is included with you attending classes, and all of the resources I will be sending to you are offered through school. So you have access to all of these for free. There are some that I believe there is, like if you do sign up for some, there are some offered from some outside sources. But what I will do for you, since you do not have health insurance, is I will make sure to make all of the resources I send to you will be free options provided by the school to help people.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I will also make sure to just throw a side note in that email as well with some outside sources from the school that I think could be beneficial if you do choose to seek out those as well.
Okay.
So if you don't have anything else for me, I can go ahead and we can go ahead and end the call, and I can get all of those resources sent over your way as soon as possible.
Okay.